and welcome to the Broad Street Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, per usual, is my co-host, Joe Mustache Man DeMarini. How are we doing today, Joe?
We're doing great. It's good to have you back from the clutches of the Emerald Isle. Do you see any leprechauns or anything while you were there?
I mean, everyone's a leprechaun to me, Joe. Everyone's a leprechaun.
That's true.
We saw a rainbow. Our first day there, we saw a rainbow. Like we're in Ireland now.
Wow, was it a double rainbow?
It was not, unfortunately. No, it was not a double.
Not a double.
Plenty of double drinks over there in Ireland, as the drinking culture is great. So had a good
enough.
time over there. Yeah, happy to be back. And of course, while I'm out of the country, the Flyers played well. The Flyers play well.
Did they?
They won. They won.
One game.
They won at the Islanders and at the Devils. There were two games there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking like 1-2-0 against the Penguins, the Sabres.
And then the Penguins game, it's a bad schedule spot. I come home, they beat the Sabres, lose to the Avs. Last year was the same thing. Black Friday, that's Fedotov's big win. They went on a winning streak there. But got to start our show thanking our sponsor, FanDuel. Flyers odds to make the playoffs. They were down quite a bit, but plus 185. So under 2-1 now. Still a good look. I know Steve last week while you held the fort down, you, Steve, and Jacob were going over the stage of elimination bets and whatnot. But Flyers, I think, right there in the mix for a playoff spot, even throughout these injuries. You guys did a great job breaking down the Forster injury. And he's a huge loss. He's clearly a huge loss in the lineup. Cam York has also missed the past few games.
Brutal
there. But the Flyers did make a big trade. Danny Deals getting it done again, trading for defenseman Roman Schmidt from the Tampa Bay Lightning for Ethan Sampson. I think they're both 22. Schmidt had a role in one of the preseason Panthers Lightning brawls or something. But outside of that, it just seems like not much to do about nothing there with that trade.
I mean, I guess most of this seems to be because Ethan Sampson was made redundant by Christian Kyrou and how well he's been playing for the Phantoms. It's a guy, you don't have a role or a space for Ethan Sampson, so you're like, well, let's go get Roman Schmidt, who I think is like 6'5" or something. He's huge, right? Mm-hmm. He's a big guy.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. And I like it because I think that's the third trade that they've made for the Phantoms this season. The first one was Samu Tuamala for Christian Kyrou. Then they traded Denis Gilbert for Maxence Gouanet. And then they traded this just now Sampson for Schmidt. And I like it because it shows that the front office, they don't see the Phantoms as an afterthought. They see value in their prospects. They're AHLers. They're willing to move on from redundancies and vets to change the roster. They're proactive. And I feel like maybe before my time as a Flyers fan, the Phantoms were not taken seriously by the Flyers organization. Like they were just kind of there to be there. It wasn't, they weren't just involved.
When they moved away from Philadelphia, they went up to Adirondack. It was like a complete afterthought. But now, since they've been back in Lehigh Valley, they're slowly caring about them more. And three trades there. I get what you're saying. I know you have this theory. I don't know. I feel like if they were that focused on the Phantoms, they would be trading for like a 22-year-old for like a 28-year-old, a guy who's like been around and is going to like solidify the AHL level. Like it's definitely important that they are trading for these guys. They're not just letting these guys flounder away when they clearly don't have a spot. But like, they do have to get some sort of support for their prospects down there. You got a bunch of guys making their rookie pro seasons. Like Oliver Bonk just played. You got Bump, you got Barkey, obviously. Like, you got these guys that need some support, and it's good to see Danny Briere giving some guys down there to help them out.
I just see it as like they're paying attention. Like that's what it is for me. Is I'm like, this is nice to see. Is that they're not just like letting the Phantoms run wild. They're not leaving them to languish. They're like, we're taking action here, and that bodes well. It tracks with the rest of the organization too. Like we don't want to be this faceless Comcast entity. We are like forward facing and we're paying attention.
Yeah, no, definitely there, and we'll see what they do throughout the rest of the season because like the Phantoms still have a bunch of defensemen there now with Ponk back. They got Kyrou in there. I imagine Schmidt will be maybe a sixth, seventh guy, maybe.
7.
Oh god, yeah, and that. So we'll see. I don't know if he has any bearing on the NHL roster or depth chart, but yeah,
Well,
good to see the Flyers get some action there in Lehigh Valley, and
he might be getting some play because one of the Phantoms defensemen is making their NHL debut tonight with the Flyers.
yeah, we got Ty Murchison, 22 years old, 5th round pick from 2021. Matty Campbell follows the Phantoms very closely, wrote up what to expect from Murchison in his Flyers debut. So read that on BroadStreetHockey.com. That is largely what I am referencing here when I
Mhm.
bring up what he's got. But yeah, he's playing with Noah Juleson on the third pair, which is, the third pair for a reason. Juleson
Yeah.
plays like 12 minutes a night, 13 minutes a night. Don't expect much out of Murchison, but if he could be the same level of play with low risk like a Igor Zamula, but someone has a higher floor, I'll take that. Just give me a safe sixth defenseman that I'm not going to hate out there on the ice.
Hey, anything to keep Nick Seeler on the top pair with Travis Sanheim,
Well, Cam York, I think, was on the ice for optional skate. I think I saw Jordan Hall post on social media, so hopefully Cam York is back. But I mean, most of the people listen to this after the game anyway, so they're just celebrating the Flyers win over the Sharks. But yeah, Murchison. The big thing is it's surprising to see him get the call up over a bunch of other guys. So I guess him being left-handed helps, but like Yinning is
Mhm.
right there. Yinning what they had on the roster. Then they set him down after the loan. Helge Grans is right-handed, so they probably want a left-hand shot. But like Murchison wasn't
Hunter
even.
McDonald's lefty.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to bring him in an important game. I mean, every game's important right now, but yeah,
The Sharks?
Murchison.
That's the
Well,
perfect opportunity.
Well, what if he shits the bed and you lose? And then after this, the Flyers have a little bit of a tough schedule. I got Vegas, Carolina, and then a road trip. So like this is the game you have to win. This is the game. It's not a must-win game, but like if you lose this one, you lose 3 out of 4 after winning 3 straight. It's pretty tough
Yeah.
there. But yeah, Murchison, spent 4 years in college at Arizona State. Played 4 games last year with the Phantoms after ending his college season, and 21 games this year. 30 penalty minutes plus 9 and 4 points in those 21 games. So I mean, Flyers must be seeing something to call him up, and I don't think Maddie had anything bad to say about him. So I mean, we'll see how he plays. See how he plays.
I am hopeful because last year, I know it's a different coach, a different system, but last year, anytime one of the defensemen got called up to play, Yinning or Grans, they looked pretty good. Like right out the gate, game one, they looked not spectacular, but they fit and they weren't hurting you. So maybe like this streamlining of the systems between the Phantoms and the Flyers will make this an easier transition, and Murchison will be fine. He might only get the one game if York is already skating, and Rasmus Ristolainen is in, I believe, regular contact
Hmm.
jerseys now, so he should be
Yeah,
pretty close to coming back.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and you bring up Yinning, and it's interesting. I don't know if this is correct, but I think that if you send someone down and before they play like 10 games with the AHL and you call them back up, they don't have to clear waivers a second time or something like that. Or maybe it's a 10-day differential or something like.
That does sound familiar. Yeah.
I don't know the exact specifics of it. And I think they would have been able to recall Yinning and then send him down without needing to pass him through waivers. But he might have just been outside the cusp of that, that
Yeah,
rule.
maybe they just want Yinning to, stay the path he's on and not bring him up for a game. And maybe
Sure.
Murchison. No, I can't imagine him being up for more than a game, even if York is out tonight. But yeah, hopefully he plays a good shutdown game, good third pair against the Sharks, who should be able to get relatively easy matchups there. Like the Sharks have one line, they have the celebrity line.
Yeah.
Eklund, Wenberg, Toffoli, the second line, but like you have your 2 top pairs go against those two, and then you have the third pair and fourth line go against the bottom 6, hopefully.
How good is Celebrini though? Like it's
So,
been. I'm excited to see him tonight.
Celebrini's sick. Like I considered going to the game on Sunday just to see Nathan McKinnon in person. Like I was like, the Flyers aren't going to win. I don't want to pay to see him lose. It's a 1 o'clock game. I need my beauty sleep after this jet lag here. And that ended up being a great game. Like Trevor Zegras. Why can't Trevor Zegras score on a penalty shot? He's amazing in shootouts. You can't do it on a penalty shot. But yeah, the
It's baffling.
Flyers are keeping up with these elite teams, as Jacob Russell wrote on BroadStreetHockey.com. So make sure you check that out there as well. Do we want to get into the fourth line now that we discussed the third pair and the fourth line? We can get into that.
Oh boy, yeah, let's do it.
Well,
We'll get everybody mad right off the top.
Well, just a quick story from my time in Dublin. I wear my Flyers beanie. I go up to a bar. This bartender's talking to some other guy. He's also very tall. The guy next to me is like, "Oh, you're too tall. You're too tall." He's like, he points at me. He's like, "No, this guy's too tall." So I go up to order. He's like, "Oh, you're a Flyers fan?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, I'm like, "Oh, he's a Flyers fan too." I'm like, "Oh, why?" He's like, "Oh, Abels. He's one of my countrymen on the Flyers." I'm like, "Oh, Rodrigo. I love Rodrigo. I love Rodrigo Abels."
Yeah.
End of the story there. I love Rodrigo Abels. He should be a fourth line center. He should be a fourth line winger. He should not be anchoring a fourth line with Nick Delorier or Carl Gunstrom and this version of Garnett Hathaway. I'm very Gart angry about this fourth line. And Rick Tocchet was very angry about people. I'm not sure. I didn't see all the backlash, but he snapped back at, he's going to play his fourth line, 5 minutes left down one. I was annoyed about him putting them on the ice late in the second period after an icing, 25 seconds left. Like, you put the fourth line out there, that's nothing. Like, and it was against the Avalanche. Like, using the Avalanche as an example, if they had an icing with 25 seconds left, they put out McKinnon. They put out their top guys to try to score, get that goal going into the locker room. And Hathaway does draw a penalty. So, kind of eating a little bit of crow there. But it's just going to this fourth line. It makes sense if the fourth line was decent, but this fourth line is just bad. And there's no signs of improvement coming.
Yeah, who would have thought how much we'd miss Ryan Poehling?
Yeah.
I do want to just qualify this. How much ice time do you think Rodrigo Abels got against the Avalanche?
I mean, he gets like 6-7 minutes. I was looking at the shift chart. It was not a lot.
6-7. You gotta stop setting me up for that, Gilbs. You really gotta stop.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were in elementary school, Joe. Do all your students do that? Do they understand the 6-7, or does it cross? Translational?
No, but the parents I teach have kids in like elementary and middle school, and they're like, "Mr. Joe, what does 6-7 mean?" And I'm like, I got no idea, but I'm out here saying
nobody knows. I saw there was Freddie Freeman visited the Toronto Children's Hospital, and they were telling him, do 6-7, do 6-7. He's like, he's very PR trained. He's like, wait, what's 6-7? I'm not going to say it because I don't know what it means. Like you can see that from him. Yeah, no one knows what it means. It's like dabbing. No. It's like dabbing from 10 years ago. It's just a fad. Oh my
god. Sorry. Anyway, Abels. He had 8:27. That's like the lowest ice time he's had in the past 5 games. So it's not like Tocchet's giving his fourth line 13 minutes a night, kind of the way that Torts was stretches last year.
Torts was because that fourth line was good.
It was good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the solve here is. Like, what do you want them to do? Just call up 3 prospects and have them play in place of Abels, Delorier, and Hathaway, or Grunstrom? Like, there isn't an easy fix here. You can't just run 3 lines all game. It's unfortunate, but this is just the reality of the situation, and we kind of just have to suck it up and deal with it. Like, I agree that the throwing them out there with 5 minutes to go in regulation against the Avs was questionable. It worked out because of the Hathaway penalty, but it just kind of, I think part of the Tocchet quote that gets overlooked is him saying, "This is what we have," and he's right. Like, this is what we got. He can't change the roster. He can only play the players he's given.
Yeah, I guess that's the one qualm we can have with Danny Briere, is not solidifying the fourth line. But like, we thought he did that with Dvorak, and you look at Dvorak now on Daily Faceoff, he's centering the quote unquote top line with Konechny and Zegras. And I think Friedman said a few weeks ago, Flyers are in the market for a depth center because they do miss Ryan Poehling. They do miss a center that can play fourth line minutes, that can kill penalties, that you can rely on in those situations when you have tired guys on the bench and you're doing it for the culture or whatever that Rick Tocchet said. But like looking at, so I looked up the numbers earlier this morning. The expected goals for share with these guys on the ice. The fourth line, Delorier, Abels, Hathaway, expected goals 4%, 39%. That's pretty bad based on where the Flyers are. Last year,
Real bad.
Poehling, Lawton, Hathaway had 57%. And 2 years ago, Delorier, Poehling, Hathaway had 55.8%. Like if they're
PhD.
yeah, exactly. If they're driving play and controlling play and keeping the puck in the offensive zone, I'm not going to complain about the fourth line nearly as much. If it's Nick Delorier not being able to stick handle out there, Abels, solid fourth liner, but whatever, and Garnett Hathaway living off his past self, like it's just not helping.
I think that's the key here. Like, oh, we can fault Danny Briere for not fixing the fourth line. How was he supposed to predict that Garnett Hathaway was done? Just cooked. Like it didn't look great in the offseason, but if Garnett Hathaway was playing even like 80% of who he was last season, the Flyers would be probably fine. Their fourth line would be okay. But how are you supposed to know that he would just be completely useless this season?
Yeah, 0 points in 27 games after having 21 points in 67 last year, 17 in the full season the year before.
I posted a question on Blue Sky the other day, and I wanted to get your response. Who is going to register the first point of the 2025-26 season? A, Garnett Hathaway, B, Nick Delorier, or C, Rasmus Ristolainen? Who's going to get a point first?
Probably Ristolainen. I thought you were going to throw a goalie on there because I could see Dan Vladar putting the puck down in overtime and getting an assist. I think he may already have an assist this year. Like I could see if it was like a goalie or Risto versus Hathaway or Delorier, I think that's a toss up. I think FanDuel would have that at even money both ways. Like that's just a complete toss up.
The common response was C, Ristolainen, and
or like
if he's close
Alex
to coming
Bump,
back,
throw Alex Bump in there. Okay, if he's ever going to come up.
Were
you surprised
at this point?
Are you surprised that Bump didn't get recalled with Forster out?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Grebenkin. Let's give Grebenkin some runway. Like, why not? He played. I don't think he was spectacular, but I thought, hey, he's not bad. Why not run it out and see what happens?
Yeah, Grebenkin has more shifts where you're like, oh, that was good. Like some good forechecking, some good play in front of the net. He's fitting in on that checking line very well. And like that's why he should have got more play on the fourth line over Delorier. That's why that's the one thing you can look at talking and in the past and be like, all right, now you can't do that because who's your 13th forward right now? I don't even know if they have one up on the roster, but like Grundstrom's the 13th forward. Yeah. So Grundstrom, Abels, Hathaway, Ga. Let's see how the Ga line does tonight. The Ga. We got Da and Ga. Ga. Or Hag, if you want to go the opposite way. Or
Hag line.
The Hag line.
I gotta step in. I hate to be playing devil's advocate on behalf of Rick Tocchet here. Him not playing Grebenkin, is that him not trusting Grebenkin or him realizing, oh, Abels isn't that good and Hathaway is cooked, I'm not running this line out. And then because Grebenkin was just stapled to that fourth line, he wasn't getting the minutes because Tocchet didn't want to use the other two guys on his line.
No, he's better than Delorier. If someone gets injured in the game, you can move Grebenkin up. You can't move Delorier up. I will never be on the side of dressing Nick Delorier unless the Flyers are completely out of contention and they're playing the Penguins. That's the only chance. And he played against the Penguins. There was no fight. What are you doing? What are you doing? And Kevin Hayes scored a goal.
I mean, that's the easiest bet you could possibly make is a Hayes goal. But I will point out, Hayes was playing wing. He was not playing center for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
He was playing top line wing.
Everybody laughed when Torts moved him to the wing. Like, he might have been right. He might have just been right.
Yeah, but yeah. So the fourth line, my only qualm is get Grebenkin more minutes. Like we've been saying this all season long. Because yeah, there is really no one you can call up. Maybe like Tony Dick. Like, but I don't. He's not going to make a huge impact. I was also not surprised that Bump wasn't called up. What I am surprised is that we were all talking about how we all had Bump penciled into the lineup all summer long, and like how naive that was to do. I guess maybe not after his strong development camp, but like he clearly needed some seasoning, and that's only gonna benefit him. But yeah, but the fourth line I think is like I don't want to give up assets to improve it, but like Kiefer Sherwood from Vancouver could maybe be a guy that Rick Tocchet knows. He had a PDO bender earlier this year to get up to 12 goals, but like he's better than Delorier. He can put him Obels and Hathaway and see what they can do.
I love the idea of getting Sherwood if the price is right. I would even give up like maybe like a 3rd round pick for Sherwood for 2 reasons. Number one, Tocchet knows him. We know he's a decent enough player, and he can fill in while Tyson Forrester's out. Then you can either keep him for a playoff run as an own rental or flip him again at the deadline when Forrester comes back and Martone eventually would be joining this team in late April. But, there's... And he's a pending UFA. You're not taking up a roster spot long term.
He's 30 years old, a pending UFA. Yeah, it's
injury replacement. And then if everybody's healthy at the deadline, you could flip him again. Like, who cares?
Yeah. But yeah, looking at that Canucks roster, like they're clearly rebuilding. There's rebuild signs. Quinn Hughes is obviously the big guy. We'll get into that. But like outside of him, like Pettersson, Taka doesn't want. Besser is locked up for way too long. Same thing with DeBrusk. Same thing with DeBrusk. He has an NFC. Garland, I know Tocchet loves, but he's at $6 million through 2031.
Also, like, he's just what you want Bobby Brink to become.
Yeah,
like older Bobby Brink.
He's a redundancy of Bobby Brink and Tippett, and just connecting all in one there.
And older, like 6 years older.
Yeah, he's 29. Evander Kane, no. Philip Hedl, I wouldn't mind, but I think he got concussed earlier this year.
Again,
he just seems to always be injury prone.
He might end up having a Nolan Patrick style career where like the head injuries just catch up to him young, and he never really ascends from that, which sucks because when he plays, he looks pretty good. But I wouldn't be trading for him. No.
Yeah. Nils Hoglander, Drew O'Connor, wingers that be probably depth additions, but like outside, like Quinn Hughes is the guy. Like on defense, maybe a Tyler Myers, but he's 35, and you have Risto. If Risto gets hurt, maybe. But like Quinn Hughes is the guy, and I don't think we've talked about Quinn Hughes more than in passing on this podcast. Be like, oh, it's not time to talk about it yet, but I feel like the way it's being talked about, the way people in Vancouver are talking about it. We got people here in the chat. Fleetwoody saying Vancouver Sun reporting talks for Hughes include Flyers sending Tippett, York, Bump, Bonk, and 1st round and 2nd round in 2026. I can't imagine I can't imagine it's all of that, but I'm sure those are the players that the Canucks are in. We have Not a Planet 7906 saying trade for Hughes, Luchenko being the main piece. That if Hughes doesn't want to resign, trade him at the next trade deadline. Yeah, like that. First of all, Joe, where do you stand on if the Flyers should trade for Quinn Hughes? How excited would you be? What's the package you would give up? Is he the right guy to cash in the chips for? Like, where do you stand on getting Quinn Hughes? Because I feel like everyone's just very excited about it. I don't know if I'm being a Debbie Downer or if I'm just being like realistic.
I think a lot of things have to be in place. First of all, he has to want to come here. Like, I don't want to trade for him and then have a Rantanen situation. And he has to say he's not necessarily on July 1st going to sign an extension with you, but just like be extremely open to it and like, yeah, I'm going to come here with the intention to sign an extension, even if it doesn't happen day one. In terms of package, I mean, none of the 3 buds, probably, Drysdale, York, and Zegras, because Zegras is already friends with Quinn Hughes, so I don't know if I want to split that group up. Although I'm sure one of them would have to go, probably York or Drysdale. If you can finagle it around the wings, like Tippett or Brink or something like that, I'd be open to it. I'm not ready to move on from Tyson Forrester. No chance.
Yeah, we got a comment saying there's no sound. I'm not sure if that's
Oh,
other people referencing that? I can hear you. You can hear me. I'm
I can
assuming
hear you.
people can hear us. So we're gonna keep going here. But yeah, like Quinn Hughes, I don't know if he's the guy to cash all of your chips in for, because if you do end up trading multiple pieces, if Forster's involved, like Quinn Hughes is a better player, but unless Forster's like the one guy, like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, so just looking at the Flyers roster, you have a few untouchables. Michkov's untouchable and Martone's untouchable. You're gonna say, oh, I would trade Michkov for Quinn Hughes, and yeah, I probably would too, but Danny Briere would not.
You would? You would trade Michkov for Quinn Hughes?
I think Quinn Hughes is much more of a sure thing, top echelon player.
I mean, yeah. For it right now, yes. Right now, yes.
Yeah, it's like that's not even worth discussing, because that's like a fantasy hockey trade. I mean, how old is Quinn Hughes? Quinn Hughes is 26.
26.
Yeah, I guess if you have the guarantee that he's coming and going to resign and all of that, then maybe. But like Michkov, Martone, untouchable. Konechny, Couturier, Sanheim, Steeler, no trade clauses, and
Unmovable.
they probably don't want anyway. Zegras, you're not going to move. Dvorak, the Canucks aren't going to want. Cates, maybe, but like I don't think he fits what the Canucks want. If the Canucks want Cates, I think he's a little bit too old for what they want if they're going for the rebuild.
If they're gonna keep Pettersson, they need a 2C behind him. And I know people are gonna Cates isn't a 2C, but like he's a hell of a lot better than whoever's playing 2C on the Canucks right now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So Cates is an option. Forster's an option. And then Hathaway, Grunstrom, Delorier, no. Brink is an option. Gurbankin, if they want Gurbankin, I don't think so. And then defenseman, York, Drysdale, Andre, I think are the real three.
Andre.
And Bonk are the four defensemen you can really look at as being as a part of that package. And also Jet Luchenko, too.
Not Igor Zamula?
Igor Zamula.
No, I get it, but at the same time, you don't want to kneecap yourself trying to acquire this guy. Like, if you want to make a legit playoff push this year, and part of that involves trading Tyson Forster to the Canucks, you're kind of hurting yourself. Like,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense to do in the middle of the season. In the off season, maybe we could talk about it, but I don't know, man. I still think there's so much for Tyson Forster to give.
Yeah, I don't think this trade happens in season unless the Canucks are like, we want to get this done. And the main point of the package, I think my trade package that I think is realistic is Tippett, Luchenko, Andre, and a first round pick. Something around that type of thing. Because like you think about it, you replace Tippett with Martone next year. Hughes is an upgrade on Andre tenfold. Luchenko is where I'm unsure if I do want to trade him, because if you trade Luchenko, you're not getting a center for him. Zegras isn't a center. Your centers are still then Couturier, Cates, Dvorak if he sticks around, and you're putting a lot of eggs in the Nesbitt basket, which I don't know if I love. So what I think Danny Briere and Keith Jones are trying to do is we're hearing the Canucks are trying to, they want Tippett. Oh, we want Tippett.
Yeah.
And the Flyers are trying to quiet that down. I think the Flyers are like, no, we can't trade Tippett. He could score 50 goals one day. He had 20 goals in a down year for him. He can easily put up 30. Like, I think they're hyping up Tippett to hold on long enough where he can be the main point of the package. Obviously, you have to give up other things. Maybe, I don't know, like if there's someone like lesser than Luchenko you can give up. Maybe Nesbitt, maybe like a Berglund or a Murtagh, like someone like that. Plus a defenseman. I guess one of the players that I'm unsure how I would feel about if they trade is Cam York. Like looking at Cam York, he's 24, $5.15 million until 2030. That's a steal of a deal. If him and Sanheim can stick together as, they're a legit top pair right now. If they can be a second pair, if you get a guy like Quinn Hughes, like that could be massive.
Sanheim would go so hard.
I don't know if you, I was thinking about that. I don't know if you could I was thinking about, 2 years down the line, a Hughes Bonk pair. If Bonk can be that just safe guy or Risto, if Risto can be like, because Hughes is playing with Philip Hronik in Vancouver. So, you need a physical guy. And like there's not defensemen like this traded very often. I know the Erik Karlsson trade has been bandied about a bit for Josh Norris, who's basically kind of like Chet Luchenko along that timeline. First round pick, Chris Tierney, who was like a young winger at that time, and then two other pieces to make the salary work. So that's essentially like a, Forster or Tippett, Luchenko, and a first. Like,
Yeah.
I think Tippett, Luchenko, and a first is, if they did that, I'd be like, yeah, that's some tidy business by Briere. But I still question now, how are they getting a center? What are they doing at center if Couturier keeps aging like he does? If Cates isn't more than a 2C, like, you can win with wingers, but you have to have decent centers, and like, there's no free agents out there. And maybe I'm undervaluing Quinn Hughes, but like, I just don't think he's the guy you trade multiple pieces for. If it's like Tippett and a first and Andre, go ahead. Go do that. Keep Luchenko, keep Nesbitt, keep Forster, keep York, keep Drysdale. You're adding Quinn Hughes. Even without the guarantee that he resigns, I would probably do that.
I
And
think
go ahead. I'm not gonna ramble too long.
No, I was just gonna say my package is probably Noah Cates, Jamie Drysdale, and a first round pick.
I just can't see the Canucks doing that. Like, looking at it from the Canucks point of view, I don't think Cates fits what they want. I also think the Flyers probably overvalue Cates a little bit more than
I
other teams
mean,
do.
I guess, but on that contract with that term and that kind of player, he's a coach's dream, man. We're talking about hockey men here.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have as much cachet outside of Philadelphia just because we see him all the time, but he has gotten Selke votes before.
He has.
He is not a complete unknown quantity. Like, people who pay attention to the league, they know who Noah Cates is, and
Yeah.
you bet your ass these GMs probably do have some attention for like a middle sixer on another team that they just fall in love with.
That is true.
Yeah.
So basically, I think Drysdale is the main piece of that package, then, right? Drysdale is more valuable than Cates.
I mean, I for the Canucks, I don't know what value you're hoping to get here. Like, you bring up the Oh, that was the first Karlsson trade. He didn't have an NMC when they traded him from Ottawa to
I don't think
San
so,
Jose,
no.
right?
No.
No. For centers, I'm still banging that Leo Carlsson drum, man. I don't think it's gonna happen, but one can dream.
I mean, if you're the Canucks, like, okay, where does Quinn Hughes want to go? Like, he probably wants to go to New Jersey to play with his brothers, but like, they already have
it doesn't make sense for Jersey.
It doesn't make sense for Jersey, but like, if I was Vancouver and he really wanted to go to Jersey, I'd be like, all right, give me Nico Hischier. Hischier for Hughes.
Wow.
We want a 2C. We want a center. You want the trio of brothers together. Let's put them together. Let's make something happen there. Because like, Detroit is somehow in it. I don't know what 2C they have. Hometown, but like who are they trading for Quinn Hughes? Like, they're not trading Larkin.
Casper.
I guess they could trade Casper. He's
Nate
21.
Nate Danielson.
Yeah, and they have a few good defensemen too on the on the blue line there. They could extend in Pellica. They could move him. Like,
they have two goalies, right? Casa and Augustine in the pipeline.
That does sound accurate. I don't know. I'm not too big on goalie. Detroit's goalies there. But yeah, like Detroit. I think Detroit's maybe that he goes there and signs long term, but we don't know what Detroit's doing. If you're a listener of this podcast, you know we hate what the Red Wings are doing there. But
what?
Like, the Rangers, I saw someone say today, because it's close to the Devils, and the Rangers are always in on somebody. But like, does Quinn Hughes would want to come to Philly because it's close to his brothers? So like, I don't know where they live in the off season. Maybe it's in Detroit. Who knows? But like, close enough. But does he want to play against them in a heated rivalry in the playoffs potentially? Like, these two teams are coming together at the same time. And also, other main draw of him coming to Philly is for Rick Tocchet. And do the Flyers want to
Zegras? They're friends.
Sure, and Zegras and their buddies there. But like, I think Rick Tocchet is the main link that most people are making. And like, are the Flyers going to have Rick Tocchet for the next 5 to 7 years? Probably not.
No.
There are very rarely do NHL coaches last more than 2 or 3 years, and then like, what if Quinn Hughes, they get a coach he doesn't like, and it could be the same thing all over again. So
I think I think the he doesn't want to play his brothers that often stuff is bullshit. These guys are competitive hockey players. Like they play against their brothers all the damn time growing up
yeah,
and stuff. Like who like there is nobody more competitive than siblings. Like
mhm,
I think he would relish the opportunity to like embarrass Jack and Luke on a
yeah,
regular basis.
yeah.
So it would be really cool to play with them, but that's what Team USA is for, you know?
Yes, that is what Team USA is for. Maybe they want to play on an NHL size rink though. Joe, have you ever thought about that?
I did not consider that, but
Yeah,
I think I read on The Athletic today that they're more concerned about the quality of the ice than the rink size
yeah,
because they're playing about 3 games a day, and that's not you need like really sturdy ice for
yeah,
that. Otherwise, you're going to have a safety issue where everyone's
yeah.
it's the Lake Tahoe game but all day.
Yes, yeah. And a big thing for Quinn Hughes, why I don't necessarily think he's the guy, is like your number one defenseman, like outside of Quinn Hughes and like Kale McCarr, you want him to kill penalties. Like Quinn Hughes does not kill penalties. He's not that prototypical number one defenseman. But like
So
if you can,
what?
I'd rather cash in the chips for a 1C that can play in all situations.
Oh,
That can, yeah. I don't necessarily. I think the Flyers are building a stable of defensemen, like we talked about the Panthers and Golden Knights do, where they have Sanheim, York, Drysdale, whoever, Risto. Like they have 6 good defensemen, rather than one very top heavy defenseman, and not using those chips for a center. 'Cause, like I feel like
yeah.
that's what they have to do, and they're, I guess, better built up on the blue line. They have decent prospects. I mean, both defense and center are areas of need. I just don't know. I just don't think Quinn Hughes is the guy unless it's like Tippett and like a little bit else.
If you can get Hughes by dealing from a point of strength, which is the wings, basically, go for it. I also believe that if a 1C was available, that would be preferable. I would
Mhm.
do that in a heartbeat. However, you don't get to pick and choose who's
No,
available. If Quinn
no.
Hughes is available, you go for the best. What did Jonesy say when they took over? We don't want just the best player available. We want the best players. And guess what? Quinn Hughes is one of the
Yeah.
best defensemen in the NHL. We've talked about it before here. Like, our concept of a number one defenseman has to change. The age of if you can get a Victor Hedman or an Alex Pietrangelo or a Cale Makar, that's awesome. That's not the standard, and you can't just hope for a future Hall of Famer every time. Um, it's like you take the best players you can
Mhm.
get, and
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes is at this moment, as we're talking now, the best player known to be available.
No, exactly. Like you can sit around. I can sit around and say, no, let's wait for a 1C. I'd rather trade for a top line center, and like they don't become available, and then you sit on your hands, and you miss out a chance on a perennial Norris Trophy candidate there, like a guy who's had a 92-point season, who can quarterback a power play, who can completely take over a game, play 25 plus minutes a night, and then you have him as your top pair, and then Sanheim probably as your second pair. Like you have those two guys separate. You build a third pair that can kill penalties, and
So wait, so who's playing with Hughes on the top pair?
I don't know. I just don't know if I like Sanheim on the right side with Quinn Hughes. I
Okay.
feel like I'd rather spread the wealth a little bit. Like put Risto there or put Bonk there in a few years. Like someone right-handed. I think.
Would would you be comfortable trading for Hughes and then over the summer he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably not gonna sign here," and then you flip him again during either the summer or mid-season or at the trade deadline for like kind of like a protracted Rantanen saga. Like that all happened in 1 year. This would
Yeah.
happen over a year and a half.
You have to. I feel like that would be a stain on Briere and Jones, though, if they trade for a guy without knowing that he wants to play there long term. Like, maybe if he says that now and they trade for him, the Flyers completely shit the bed next year. There's no future. There's Rick Tochet's fired. There's animosity in the locker room. Like anything can happen. And Quinn Hughes then
Yeah.
asks out. Sure, but like unless the package is like Tippett and a first for Hughes, like I think if you're giving up, especially what the top comment said, Tippett, York, Bonk, number one, number two picks, like I feel like you have to have a strong verbal commitment that he wants to play in Philadelphia. Otherwise, you don't give as big of a package.
I also don't think I'd give up that package. That's
No,
way too
I
much for
hope
me.
the Canucks aren't asking for all of that, but maybe like one of Tippett or York, one of Bumper Bonk, and like then a pick. Like,
I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If
yeah,
Vancouver has given Hughes and his agent permission to talk to other teams, then we get a clearer picture, because then we get a better sense of who he's willing to talk to and who he'd be willing to extend with. As far as we know, as far as what's out in the media, it's not at that point yet. Although if you watch Vancouver play, Hughes looks completely just checked out of
mm-hmm.
everything, which,
Yeah,
man, it reminds me of Zegras last season with the Ducks, where he just looked completely like
yeah,
glassy eyed and
yeah.
not checked in.
Yeah, and you also can't give up a package to the point where in 2 years you're the Canucks with Quinn Hughes and nothing else. Like that's not
Yeah.
something. Quinn Hughes is a fantastic player. He can't win games on his own. Like he has to be a part of a better team, which the Flyers are clearly building here with the
Yeah.
wings. But I do think this is an off-season trade unless the Canucks want to get it moving now, which
I mean,
it doesn't make sense for them to want to trade him now unless the argument is you're getting Hughes for 2 playoff runs. Like
yes,
that's the one argument.
and
If
he doesn't have an NMC. They like
no,
they honestly, they're not beholden to him at all. If someone just threw an enormous offer on the table that the Canucks couldn't say no to, they'd be like, all right, you figure it out. Like, yeah, Quinn, you're on that team now. We got all this good stuff. That GM has to figure out how to keep you around.
I mean, you brought up Leo Carlson. Like the Ducks would be a perfect team to make a trade with the Canucks. They have Carlson, they have McTavish, they have
Queen.
Seneca now. Like they have a bunch of young guys that could trade 2 young roster players for Quinn Hughes, and both teams
Minchikov.
come out with a win. Yeah, like that. That's a team that they're very proactive this year trading. Like,
I'd hate that. Imagine it's Gauthier. imagine it's Cutter Gauthier and Pavel Minchikov to the Canucks for Quinn Hughes.
yeah,
Enjoy Vancouver, buddy.
yeah. But I think this is an off-season trade. Like, especially with your trading roster players, Briere doesn't want to upset the locker room.
Off season for the Flyers.
Yes,
I don't know if the Canucks will wait that long.
Yeah,
that's really what it is, or because other teams might have better assets. We've talked before about Askarov. I don't know where
I think
the
it's
emphasis is.
Askarov. I've heard it both ways. So.
Okay. How the Flyers should have made like a bigger offer, and ultimately the Nashville Predators just like David Edstrom. Like they like that prospect a lot, and the Flyers didn't have that prospect, so they weren't going to get the trade done unless they really overpaid. It could be the same situation with Vancouver. Maybe they really like this one prospect that the Flyers just don't have, and that's going to be the deal breaker. And
they want a center. They want a center, and like if the Flyers don't want to trade Luchenko, yeah, exactly. And like looking at the trade board, like what players might be available at the deadline, like defenseman wise, you got Rasmus Anderson, he's a right shot. You have Justin Falk, he's a right shot. Brandon Carlo, right shot. Like Quinn Hughes is going to be head and shoulders the best guy available at the deadline if he's still available at that point. And like,
and not just the deadline, because so many guys re-signed already. Might be the best player available all summer too. Like this. I know he's maybe not the player that fixes the Flyers roster, but I go back to a couple months ago when Kirill Kaprizov was hadn't signed with the Wild yet, and I saw Flyers fans making comments like, he's another wing, forget it, we don't want him, even if it works out that way. And I'm like, you like keep saying this team needs high-end talent and high-end players, and then you say, but not those high-end players, not that high-end talent. I'm like, Quinn Hughes comes here and you are going to say, oh no, he's the wrong guy. And I'm like, he's a 90+ point defenseman who won a Norris. Like what do you want? Cale Makar? Yeah, sure. So does everybody. Guess what? Cale Makar is not available.
No. Yeah, exactly. Quinn Hughes is available. And that's why I think like these teams that are contenders this year at the deadline, if he's still out there, they can trade like maybe one roster player, a pick, and a prospect or two to the Canucks. And it's a win-win for both deals. The Canucks get their future pieces, and just I'm throwing this team out there. It's not going to happen. Dallas, or a team that hasn't
Oof.
quite won the cup yet, and the GM's on the hot seat. They're like, all right, I'm not going to be here in 2 or 3 years when these players are ready for the NHL. If we don't win anything, let me go out, overpay for Quinn Hughes, and see if we can get a cup this year or next year.
I think one of the last things that's going to have to fall into place, Vancouver hasn't said we're rebuilding, but they haven't said we're retooling either. There isn't a clear vision of what direction they want to take. And I think until they make a clear statement, it's going to be like, it's hard to put a trade package together until we know.
Yeah. Like, I could see like the Hurricanes. It's just they have a bunch of first round picks. They have a bunch of good young players trading for Quinn Hughes, and like just
oh man,
because their defense is very old. Like they could trade Nikishin if they wanted to get Quinn Hughes. They could trade like they have the Stars first round pick in this year and 2028. They have their own in the next 2 years. They have $8 million in cap space.
I thought they traded one of those Stars picks for DeAndre Miller.
They may have. They still have. Oh no, they have 1 Stars pick, but it shows here as 2 because it's top 10 protected. And then they have their own picks in 27 and 28. But like,
would you trade this year's Flyers first round pick if it was top 10 protected?
Yeah, I would trade. it.
I would too.
Yeah, like, yeah, top 5 protected. Like top 3 protected.
Whoa,
like, they're not gonna be that bad this year. They're not gonna be bottom 5 in the league, are they?
What if they Utah?
Especially if you're trading for Quinn Hughes.
Utah?
Top 5 protected then. Top 5.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know if I'd do top 5. I would do top 10. I would do a top 10 protected first round pick this year, and then I would make the condition, if it moves to next year, you get Toronto's first round pick instead of our own. That would be the condition.
Yeah, and like the conditions on Toronto's pick, like with the Boston situation, that one's all up in the air. So that could be, something the Flyers and Breer have to play with like what pick does our other team want? What protections can we put on it? But like, I'm just looking at like the bottom of the standings right now. Maybe the Flyers do fall flat on their face, but I can't see them finishing bottom 10.
But here's the thing. They're like 5 points out of both first place and last place in the division. Like, it's, I don't know if it's still that tightly packed, but it's pretty close. They go on 1 5-game losing streak and they're at the bottom of the division. Like, it is so tightly congested. It's easy for us to say like, oh, I can't see them finishing in like the bottom 6 or bottom 7.
Mm-hmm.
But if everyone's in the bottom 6 or bottom 7 with like this 1 points difference in the standings, then like, that's just kind of how it works out,
Yeah.
They could miss the playoff by 2 points and still draft 7th because of the way
they can't. They can't, Joe. No, they can't, Joe. But I think the Flyers are a team that, as they learn Tocchet systems, they're going to get better. They're going to get Risto healthy. Hopefully, they get Forster back in a timely manner, and that should help Murchison tonight. Like, that should help Murchison. You mentioned the systems between the AHL and NHL being the same. The forwards can help out. Insulate Murchison a little bit, and like having this team getting better, and the Flyers aren't going to have many Olympians. They're going to have Vladar, Ersson, probably
Risto.
Maybe Team Sweden, maybe not Ersson, but yeah, Risto, Vladar, Abels, Konechny's not going. I guess Sanheim's going to go, but like Sanheim's the big one you got to worry about potentially getting hurt or getting worn down, but he shouldn't be playing too much for Team Canada. Probably second.
He's like their 7.
Yeah, he's their guy that can just fill in if there's an injury or something there.
Unless he loses it to Schaefer.
That is possible, and might want to bring the youngster along there. But I think Tocchet's still coaching, right? So I think he'll have Sanheim in there.
Assistant. He's not the head coach.
But, yeah. But Michkov's going to have 20 days off to rest and work out, and like he's only getting better. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shout out! Happy birthday, Matvei Michkov. Today turns 21 years old. I hope the boys take you to Xfinity to ride the bull afterwards. I know this team is already struggling with injuries, but boy, once you turn 21, you gotta go ride that bull. I have never ridden the bull, but you know what? You should.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let me check our good friends here at FanDuel what they have for a Matvei Michkov goal tonight, because that would be against the Sharks. He loves getting feisty against Mac DeMarini.
Yes, he
Let me see
does.
what he is to score a goal tonight. He is plus 210. So you put down $5, you get 1050 back plus your $5. So not a bad little wager there on Matt Michkov to score a goal.
I might take that one. He's been heating
And
up.
if you're listening to this after the game happened and didn't happen, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Before we go into the predictions, I think we've done the Quinn Hughes thing pretty in depth for now, right?
Yeah, Quinn Hughes,
Yeah.
It's boring to say, but the deal has to be right. The timing has to be right. But Quinn Hughes is a guy that is available. These players don't become available often. You get him if you can.
You get him if you can. What is the Danny Briere catchphrase?
Has to make sense.
It has to make sense. Cool. Before we get into the predictions,
Wait, no, I have one. I have
oh.
one off topic thing to ask here. Have you
Okay.
have you taken in any heated rivalry as of yet?
I have not. Is that on Netflix
I
or
think it's on HBO Max or
I
whatever.
don't have HBO.
Heated rivalry.
I've seen
It
it all
is
over my
on
timeline.
It's on HBO Max. Yeah,
Did you just
everyone's loving it.
wait a minute? You come back from Ireland for 1 week and you go HBO?
I've been saying H for well over a year.
Okay.
I
Just okay.
I said H in front of Americans at an Irish bar, and they looked at me like I had two heads.
BSH
BSH,
radio.
the HGP,
BSH.
yeah, BSH,
The HGP.
yes.
Have you been watching Heated Rivalry? Is that why you ask?
No, I have not yet, but it's been all over the timeline. So
Maybe
you might
that'll
have to. Maybe we'll do like a heated rivalry. I know Steve and JPO love their media there, so maybe we'll
That's
get a
true.
heated rivalry recap with them.
That might be we've got a holiday break coming up from teaching, and I might maybe we'll take that time to watch some Heated Rivalry, and then we'll get to do a one-off pod on it.
Nice.
Okay, so the Athletic released their player polls today, and there were two that I wanted to highlight. One of them, they asked players, where is Sidney Crosby playing next year? Most of them said Pittsburgh. But one solitary voter said the Philadelphia Flyers. And I would love to know which NHL players said, oh yeah, Sidney Crosby's going to go to Philadelphia next year. Because can you imagine what would happen if Sidney Crosby was a Flyer next year?
Yeah, which NHL troll said that? Like, oh, Crosby going to the Flyers there. I mean,
Marchand?
the Flyers need a center. Yager did it.
Do.
Come on down, Crosby.
Well, how many stops did Yager have before he came to Philadelphia?
I don't think he had too many before the Flyers, but I think it was just Pittsburgh, Washington, and the Rangers before the Flyers. I could be missing one. No, those three, and then the Flyers, and then it started his tour: Dallas, Boston, Devils, Florida, Calgary for the Yager there for the traveling.
Great puck doku response. Yes. If anyone is still doing puck doku these days. The other one was the most punchable face, and there were two Flyers that got more than one vote. One of them pretty obvious, Garnet Hathaway, and I think one of the NHLers called him fucking annoying, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. And then the other Flyer with more than one vote was none other than Trevor Zegras, having one of the most punchable faces in the NHL, which I can kind of get. He seems like a jerk out there. He kind of seems like a little bit of a shithead.
He does. If he was on a team you hated, or like if you're one of these hockey men that hate these Instagram guys, Zegras clearly a very punchable face. I saw him trying to do like the thing to
fake out.
one of the Penguins players there. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, speaking of that Penguins game, well, there were two other Flyers that got one vote apiece: Matvei Michkov and Travis Konechny. And did you see that audio clip from the Penguins game where Travis Konechny is calling out to Parker Wotherspoon? You're the worst fucking player on the team. You're such a loser. Incredible moment. We know that Travis Konechny is in his element when he's yelling out chirps like that.
Yeah, and he needs to get back in his element. He's putting up the points, but he's still getting he's his stick handling, his puck handling hasn't been great, but up to 23 points now in 27 games.
4-game point streak, I believe.
4-game point streak, 2-game goal streak.
Like he might be back. Yeah. All right. Predictions. Shall we do it?
I kind of wanted to.
Is there?
No, we can do predictions here. We can just do predictions. Yeah, I was going to touch
No.
touch on how I don't like the Tippett Zegras Dvorak line being broken up,
Oh,
but I mean,
oh,
it's been broken up for a few games now. It looks like that's what they're going
whatever.
with now. So we'll see.
I
We'll
like
see. We'll see how it rolls.
I like TK with Zegras. I said at the beginning of the season, I think they make a good pairing. But um, is there a bet on FanDuel for the chances that a hot dog gets thrown on the ice tonight, considering it is dollar dog night down at the Xbox?
There is not, but once we get off here, I'm going to phone my good friend Mr. Dool and see if I can get any because FanDuel has the bet your way or something it's called where
Yeah.
you can request bets, I believe. So maybe we can get a wiener wager on FanDuel.
Wiener wager. Incredible. That one had some mustard on it.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the 13th? 13th Saturday, then at Carolina. All right. So predictions here. Tonight against San Jose. I am locked and loaded with the 4-2 win.
4-2 win tonight? I think Vladar's back in net, right? He's
Vladar's in
had like
net.
a full week off too.
Credit to Sam Emerson. He's been looking good.
I know a lot of
For the
people
most part.
shit on him.
For the most part.
I know a lot of people shit on him for the loss to the Avs, but like the only one he really maybe should have had was the Brent Burns shot.
Yeah, and he made some big saves. So like you can't be too upset. Yeah.
He is kind of becoming what he is. I think it's going to be a 5-4 shootout win.
All right, high scoring game there. Askarov's been playing well in that. I'm assuming he's starting tonight for the Sharks, but not entirely sure. No, it's Nedeljkovic. So yeah, even more confidence in my my Flyers victory there.
That's a former Penguin right there.
Yeah. Vegas Golden Knights on Thursday. What do you got?
Oh boy. I mean, Vegas has been weird. Like, I don't know what's going on with them. I'm saying like a 3-2 overtime loss.
That is literally what I just wrote down for myself there. Yeah, because
really?
Vegas is oh God, do we think what's his name gets the start?
Jesus Christ. There's no way, right? There's no way.
He's been starting for them. He's been starting for them the past few games. Let me see if he is starting tonight. But
I thought he was injured.
He was out for a game, and my tinfoil hat theory is if he's not going to be starting, they're going to have him in the press box to avoid any backlash on the bench there. Akira Schmid is probable tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights on Long Island there, so it could be our old enemy there on Thursday for Vegas, who's playing well. Vegas is playing well. We both have 3-2 overtime losses for it. Could,
if we get that asshole, I hope the Flyers pin 9 on him.
Yeah, just put that. I want Nick Delorier in just crashing the crease every shift.
Absolutely, get in that crease, Nick.
Yeah, and then I got a back-to-back with Carolina on the weekend at home on Saturday. Is that a 1:00 start? Do we know? Unsure. And then Sunday in Carolina. Let me just check what time that Saturday game is. It looks like 7:00. Carolina's been good recently, kind of up and down though. Had a few bad losses here and there, but
a lot of injuries.
It just seems like they always have the Flyers number. It just really does. Like the Flyers put up a good fight and then end up losing.
I think the Flyers get this one 4-2.
Ooh, all right.
It's home, right?
It's home. It's home on Saturday and then at Carolina on Sunday.
Oh, big old home and home.
I'm going a 4-3 overtime loss on at home and then at Carolina. Carolina is
6-2 Carolina.
Oh yeah, I mean Carolina is great on back-to-backs. I'll go 5-2 loss. I don't think it gets too out of hand there, but yeah. So I'm predicting a win, overtime loss, and loss. You're predicting a shootout win, overtime loss, win, and loss. So we should be back then on Monday to record before the holiday stretch there for the Flyers.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday. We might do a Tuesday again, even if it is game day. Whatever works for our schedule.
We'll figure it out. It's the holidays. Nothing's real between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
It's that time of year.
Oh God! All right, we got to get back to karaoke sometime, I think.
Christmas karaoke. Yeah, we might have to do that. Yeah.
I'm going on Thursday, I think. So we'll sort that out.
All right, we'll see. All right, I think that's a pretty good show there. Pretty good show. Hour back here. Make sure you guys leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I will read it here at the end of the show if we ever get one. Also, like the video on YouTube. Comment. Let me know what you think about the Quinn Hughes stuff. Anything else you want us to touch on as well. But yeah, once again, thanks to FanDuel. Make sure you read BrosserDocky.com, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff there. And Joe, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at jfdmarini.bsky.social. How about you, Gilbs?
Yeah, you can follow me on Blue Sky at ryangilbert.bsky.social. And until next time, thanks for listening.
Go Flyers.